Republican lawmakers gathered on the steps of California's Capitol building to demand concrete actions on relieving pain at the pump. Their call comes on the 100th day since politicians, including the governor, promised relief. Here's what they're saying.
June 15th marks the 100th day since the governor promised relief from the pain of high gas prices. A group of Republican lawmakers gathered on the steps of the Capitol in front of traffic cones displaying the number 100. They demanded suspension of the state's gas tax, saying 100 days is far too long.
In fact, if we had done it when we called for it at the beginning of the year, everyone would have saved over $2,400 right now. And now, to add insult to injury, because of the inaction in July, the gas tax will go up yet again.
During the March 8th State of the State address, Governor Gavin Newsom initially announced he is working with lawmakers to give back money to taxpayers to offset record-high gas prices. He later proposed rebates for all car owners in California, but the plan has encountered delays. Newsom's office did not respond to inquiries.
At a time when we have the highest gas prices, not only in the nation, but in U.S. history, we need real solutions that will ease the burden on families, not increase the load. The governor needs to lead, to put political agendas aside and support the needs of the people.
Valladares pointed out that the state's gas taxes are set to rise again on July 1st, from 51 cents to 54 cents per gallon.
My district is a commuter district in Los Angeles where the average price of gas is $6.50. And that's for 87 octane.
She said that in her district, one business owner who is spending $300 a week on gas has to resort to sleeping in his truck to cut down on commuting costs. Since January, 4 major proposals have been introduced to provide relief. They include suspending the gas tax and various rebate proposals. But these measures have either stalled or failed to pass.
Republicans have put forward solutions again and again this year, with our last attempt being a bipartisan solution that would suspend the gas tax for a year. The Sacramento Democrats managed to pass an entire budget on Monday with no mention of gas price reliefs for Californians. Remember, these are your tax dollars, and they're using them for their own agenda.
Other lawmakers said suspending the gas tax would have less impact on the state's nearly $100 billion surplus.
And suspending the gas tax for a year would cost less than 10% of that surplus. The best Capitol Democrats could come up with is a $200 refund that is months away from being sent out, if it ever gets sent out at all.
Currently, California is the only state with an average price exceeding $6. As of June 16th, the average price for regular gas was $6.43 per gallon statewide.
With more self-driving cars on the roads, there have been an increase in car crashes involving automatic driving and other driver assist systems. Tesla makes up for a majority of the crashes.
According to statistics released Wednesday by U.S. safety regulators, there were nearly 400 crashes over a 10-month period involving vehicles with partially automated driver assist systems. 273 of those were Teslas. Tesla's crashes happened while vehicles were using autopilot, full self-driving, traffic-aware cruise control, or other driver assist systems that have some control over speed and steering. The company has about 830,000 vehicles with the systems on the road.
They are not fully self-driving, they're not fully autonomous driving vehicles at all. So they're only meant to assist your driving. You, as the driver in control, must always be paying attention to the road ahead of you.
But most drivers like the system and still trust it to an extent.
Honest, man, I love it. I think the autonomous features of the Tesla are great, man. especially for long road trips or for commuting, you know, in and out of work or whatever the case may be.
I don't feel comfortable using autonomous driving in construction zones and areas like that that are very non-standard. But you know, that's a rarity in your driving, and if you're paying attention, you see it coming, you disengage, you drive yourself, then you go back to autonomous driving.
Honda is next highest with reported crashes at 90. It says it has about 6 million vehicles on U.S. roads with such systems. Subaru was next with 10, and all other automakers reported 5 or fewer. In a June 2021 order, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration told more than 100 automakers and automated vehicle tech companies to report serious crashes within 1 day of learning about them. The agency is assessing how the systems perform and whether new regulations may be needed. According to the agency, 6 people were killed in the crashes involving driver assist systems, and 5 were seriously hurt. 5 occurred in Teslas and 1 was reported by Ford. 3 of the serious injuries were in Teslas, while Honda and Ford each reported 1. Tesla's crash number may appear elevated because it uses telematics. Telematics monitor vehicles through GPS and get real-time crash reports. Other automakers don't use such technology, so their reports may come slower or crashes may not be reported at all. Auto safety advocates said driver assist and self-driving systems have potential to save lives, but that's not until NHTSA sets minimum performance standards and requires safety improvements to protect all road users.
Some Southern Californians may have to forget about green lawns and outdoor sprinklers this summer. One water district is getting tough on water usage violators by unilaterally reducing their water supply. Let's take a look at how the restrictions work.
The Las Virgenes Municipal Water District in Calabasas, north of Los Angeles, is installing flow restrictors. These are metal discs with small holes in the center that are placed into the main water supply lines to significantly reduce flow to homes that use too much water.
These flow restrictors are installed for customers who really are not paying attention to how they use water. And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to get their attention. And frankly, we have to. We're in a drought emergency.
After the flow restrictor device is installed, water flow is reduced from around 30 gallons per minute to just 1 gallon per minute. Water officials say that's enough to carry out household chores like washing the dishes and taking showers, but not enough for outdoor usage.
The intent is not to be punitive. And so the way this device will work when we put it in, it will actually allow the customer to still be able to use water inside their home, and that's water for cooking and bathing and cleaning and that kind of thing. But it will restrict the amount of water that they can use outdoors.
Pedersen added that outdoor water usage accounts for about 70% of all water usage, so the flow restrictors will prevent sprinklers and outdoor watering devices from working. Engineers at Las Virgenes Municipal Water District developed the new flow restrictor device.
When we were coming up with the design for this, we thought we could just maybe go buy something from the hardware store, but it didn't exist anywhere. So we kind of had to get creative and make a washer with the correct size hole that would be sufficient for the water flow that we were looking for.
One resident was pleased with the flow restrictor and has installed them at his home.
I don't really know how often it would be enforced, though the more the better. I certainly don't mind the idea of slapping somebody's wrist to get them to pay attention in class, kind of thing.
Since June 1st, the Metropolitan Water District has mandated some 6 million residents in Southern California to water their lawns and gardens no more than once per week. The order affects some of the most populated areas of Los Angeles, Orange, San Diego, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. Last month, Governor Gavin Newsom also warned he would order strict cutbacks on water use statewide. The condition is if businesses and residents did not slash their own consumption in the face of a drought.
With gas prices skyrocketing, commuters are looking for other modes of transportation to lower their bill. NTD's Jackie Rios went to a motorcycle showroom in Los Angeles to learn why the bikes are now more desirable.
Gas prices keep going up. Trains and buses run on their schedules, not yours. So is there an alternative and affordable way to drive around town? There might be. But first, there are certain things you need to know about before you drive around town on two wheels. At the Birds Mega Mall in Covina, California, rows of motorcycles await new owners. Neil Adams, the project coordinator, says the bikes make the commute worth it.
Thankfully in California we have OHV lanes that allow the motorcycle to split right down the lanes there, which makes it great. Instead of a 3-hour drive to go 60 miles, it takes you actually 45 minutes. Definitely worth it.
Adams said technological advancements allow the bikes to have similar features found in cars.
So the motorcycle takes a ton of cues from the car industry. So you'll see on a lot of bikes, you're going to have ABS, so the anti-brake system. You're going to have throttle controls on some of the higher end bikes. You can have traction control for riding in the rain, cornering, things like that. And when we get into the really like adventure bikes we can look at, they literally have gyros in them. So when you tilt the bike, it'll correct itself and put more power to where it needs to go and brake and everything else. So yeah, the advancements are literally identical to some of the high-end cars out there.
According to Adams, some motorcycles are more fuel efficient than others. Saving gas depends on how few cylinders the bike has.
And then as we go through that, you can go into doubles, which are very common. Probably the most fuel effective ones is what we call a twin. And then triples is what actually this company Triumph is known for. So you run a 3-cylinder on that. And then beyond that, it literally becomes displacement, which equals horsepower. So the more valves and more you have, obviously it's more of a gas eater. But a single cylinder and a twin are probably the most popular. They're the lightest. They're the easiest to drive.
When looking for a bike, Adams recommends trying in person to see what is a good fit, from controls, feel, and comfort level. I've never been on a motorcycle, but I'm just like everyone else. High gas prices, long commutes have gotten the best of me, so I'm gonna give this a shot. On two wheels, Jackie Rios, NTD News, Los Angeles.